Good morning to all of you students. Welcome to the physics class. In this session, we will discuss the second part of the chapter number 6 of DC circuits and measurement. In the first part, we will discuss some important topics, and the rest topics of this chapter we will discuss here in the part number 2. Okay student. So continue. Student, we will discuss here from rheostats because the above topics we have discussed in the part number 1, and you can easily see from the part number 1. So rheostat is a electrical appliance which is generally used for the control of the current in DC format. It means that in order to control the DC current, we use generally rheostat. It is made of a metal, and a metal rod which is placed on the top of this instrument is generally used to control the current, and there is a strip which can be slipped on this rod. Now there is a cylindrical part where a copper wire is wrapped, by which we can easily flow the current, because copper wire is a good conductor of heat and electricity. So this is a instrument generally used to control DC current in the electrical circuit. Okay. Now student, we will discuss here meter bridge. This is most important topic according to board syllabus, and this is generally used to find unknown resistance. In the case of meter bridge, we'll discuss here the construction and working. So here there are four resistances are take place: P, S, P and Q. Sorry, R, S, P and Q. And there is a wire AC of length 100 centimeter. First of all, we will divide this wire into two parts: AB, whose length is small l, then the length of BC part will be 100 minus small l. If P is the resistance of length L and Q for 100 minus L, and there are two resistances R and S. So in four resistances there is a known resistance which can be easily find with the help of a meter bridge. But we will apply here the principle of Wheatstone bridge. Now student, determination determination of resistances. So by the applying the Wheatstone bridge, P by Q is equal to R by S, we can put the value of resistance P, which is for the part AB. So we know that P is equal to rho L upon A, where A is the cross section area. In the same way, resistance of BC part, which will be capital Q, is equal to P rho in bracket 100 minus small l upon A. Now putting these values in the above formula, we get P upon Q is equal to L upon 100 minus L. So finally we get L upon 100 minus L is equal to R upon S. So on equating we get capital S is equal to capital R in bracket 100 minus small l upon small l. So this is the required formula for getting the unknown resistance S. Now student, the next topic is potentiometer. This is also most important topic, and potentiometer is a very sensitive device. With the help of we can determine or feel the presence of electric current. So in the case of potentiometer, the construction is there is a wire AB, and this wire is connected with the help of a rheostat, key and a battery in series. Now take a EMF whose take a potential whose EMF is capital E, and this EMF is generally and directly connected to the wire AB, and take a jockey J and take 3 positions on the wire by touching different points. So on putting the different points, we get the deflection in any one direction, right side or left side. So there is a point where if we touch the jockey, then there is no deflection take place in the galvanometer. At that condition, we can say that it is a balance condition or null point condition, because we know that in the null point condition, there is no deflection source in the galvanometer. Okay, students. Now, on which principle the potential meter is work? It is the important, and it works on the principle that E is directly proportional to L, where L is the length. That means as the length is decreasing, the potential of a cell is also decreases. That means E is directly proportional to capital L, where capital L is the length of a part of a wire where jockey is connected. So E is directly proportional to L. And when we remove proportionality sign, we use a constant K. So K is a proportionality constant. Hello student. Now the next topic is sensitivity of potentiometer. Means how how sensitive is a potentiometer is defined by this term. So student, you can note this point: smaller the potential gradient, greater will be the sensitivity. That means the sensitivity is depend on the potential gradient. Potential gradient means potential, the change in potential with respect to distance is known as potential gradient. So as much as potential gradient, the current, the sensitivity will be low, means it is inversely proportional. Now, now students, compare of the EMF of two cells. So we can compare the EMF of two cells with the help of a potentiometer. So if we connect two cells whose EMF are E1 and E2 with the help of a potentiometer, then we generally connect it in parallel, and by the formula E1 is equal to K times of L1. This is formula for the cell E1. In the same way, E2 is equal to K times of L2. So on dividing, we get E1 upon E2 is equal to L1 upon L2. So by the above formula, we can compare the EMF of two cells very easily. Now student, determination of internal resistance of a primary cell. So we can also determine the value of small r of any primary cell which is just connected to the potentiometer. So with the help of this diagram, we can see that how the cell is connected to the potentiometer, and by the formula E is equal to K times of L1 and V is equal to K times of L2, where E is the EMF and V is the potential difference. So by these two formula, we get E upon V is equal to L1 upon L2. Now student, by putting the value, we get small r is equal to capital R in bracket E upon V minus 1, and we know that the value of E upon V is L1 upon L2. So this is the required formula: small r is equal to capital R L1 upon L2 minus 1, by which we can easily find the value of small r for any cell. So student, these are the rest topic, and in this topic potentiometer and meter bridge, these are the 2 points, these are the two important topics which are generally asked in the board examination, and numerical problems are also asked in this topics. So student, now we will discuss here some numerical problems. Okay, the first problem is the storage battery of a car and EMF is 12 volt. The internal resistance of a battery is 0.4 volt. What is the maximum current that can be drawn from the battery? That means here we have to find the value of electric current, and the value of external resistance is 0. So on putting these values, I is equal to E upon small r, because capital R is 0, then we get 30 ampere. So this is the required value of electric current. Now you can also find the numerical number 2. A battery of EMF of 10 volt and internal resistance 3 ohm is connected to a resistor. If the current in the circuit is 0.5 ampere, what is the resistance of the resistor and what is the terminal potential of the battery when the circuit is closed? So simply we can find the value by putting the data. So E is equal to 10, small r equals to 3 ohm and small l equals to 0.5. On putting the value, total resistance will be capital R plus small r is equal to capital E upon I. So we get 20 ohm. So by putting the value, we can easily find the value of capital R means external resistance and V means potential difference. So it will be 8.5 volt. Now student, we will discuss here a numerical problem of Kirchhoff's law. This is the example of Kirchhoff's law and you can see that determine the current in each branch of a network shown in the figure. So in the figure, there is a circuit diagram where some resistances like 10 ohm, 5 ohm, 5 ohm and 10 ohm and 5 ohm also connected in a circuit as shown in the figure, and currents I1 minus I3, I2 plus I3 and total current, that means I is equal to the sum of I1 plus I2 are flowing in the different resistances which is shown in the figure. So we will apply here Kirchhoff's law. Kirchhoff's second law means rules law, loops law. So applying Kirchhoff's second law in the branch, yeah, in the loop ABCD. So here we find the equation in the terms of current and voltage. So first equation will be 10 I1 plus 5 I3 minus 5 I2. That means on solving we get 2 times of I1 minus I2 plus I3 is equal to 0. Now again applying Kirchhoff's second law in mesh BCDB. So in this mesh we can write 5 times of I1 minus I3 minus 10 times of I2 plus I3 minus 5 times of I3. On solving this we get I1 minus 2 times of I2 minus 4 times of I3. Now we get two variables I1, I2 and also I3. That means number of variables is here 3. That means we have to find the number of equations is also 3. So the third equation will be applying ADCEA mesh. So in this mesh the required equation will be 2 times of I1 plus 5 times of I2 plus 2 times of I3 is equal to 2. Now we get three equations in three variables, so we can easily find out the value of I1, I2, I3 by substituting and by elimination method. The required value of I1, I2 and I3 by solving equations we get I1 is equal to 4 upon 17 ampere and I2 is equal to 6 upon 17. In the same way I3 is equal to minus 2 upon 17 ampere. These are the required values. Now student, for driving a current of 3 ampere for 5 minutes in an electric circuit, 1350 joule of work is to be done. So find the EMF. We know that Q is equal to IT. So first of all we will find the value of charge, which will be 900 coulomb, and we know that E is equal to W upon Q. By putting the value of work done and charge we get the EMF. Now student, a battery of EMF 10 volt and internal resistance 3 ohm is connected to a resistor. The current is 0.5 ampere. What is the resistance of a resistor? What is the terminal potential of a battery when the circuit is closed? Closed means current is flowing and open means there is no current flowing in the circuit. So we know that I is equal to E upon capital R plus small r. This is the formula of the electric current which is flowing in the whole circuit when the circuit is closed, and by the above formula we can find the value of capital R, which will be 17 ohm, and V is equal to E minus IR. This is also a relation between potential difference and EMF. By putting the values we get potential difference 8.5 volt. So student, these are the numerical problems which is generally asked in the examination. So you can solve more and more questions by seeing the examples of different books and by studying the concept of theoretical part. And if your theoretical part is completed and you have a good knowledge in the theoretical part, then you can easily solve the numerical problem. So solve as much as questions and do very well. Thank you very much.